Hi, this is Josh from molosoft, and in this video we're going to take a look at the element tree. The element tree is a feature in Mole that allows WPF, Windows Forms, or ASP.NET developers to get a comprehensive view of all of the visual elements in their user interfaces. In this video we're going to examine a WPF demo application that we will use to see how the element tree can be leveraged. I'm going to click on this edit button, which is going to send us to a breakpoint in the code behind. I mouse over the sender argument, which happens to be a button. Go to the data tip and select Mole 2010. That's going to open Mole for that button. As you can see, the initially selected element in the element tree is the edit button. Now I could come over here and select, let's say, the full name text block, which is another visual element in my user interface, and the moloscope updates to show all the public properties of that text block, the snapshot updates to display a rendering of it, and the XAML tab over here, if you happen to be doing WPF development, will show you a XAML representation of the selected element as well. Now for the rest of this demo we're not really interested in seeing a snapshot or XAML, so I'm going to close these windows to give us more space. If I wanted to open those two windows up again, I could just come to View, Windows, and select the ones I want to open, or just click Reset Window Layout. Okay, so I have this element tree, and let's say that I'm interested in finding a list box whose name happens to be children. So I can come to the search area, type children, hit enter, and as you can see, the element tree found two matches for elements that have the text children in it. And it automatically selected the children header text block, but that's not what I'm looking for, so I'll hit search for next result, and it found this list box, which is the exact element that I'm looking for. Since I'm not interested in any other element in the element tree besides this list box and its descendants, I can get rid of all of the extra information that I don't need to know about by right-clicking on this node and selecting Set as Root Element. Now after I click Expand All, you can see that the element tree now is just focusing on the list box or whatever element that I happen to be interested in. So now I'm going to show you a feature that makes it easier to understand where an element lives in the control hierarchy. So let's say I was interested in understanding the ancestor elements of this particular list box item. I could right click on it, select Highlight Selected Elements Ancestors from the right click menu, and you'll see that all of the ancestor elements of the selected element now become bold. And as I change the selected element, the ancestors of that particular element become bold, and the ones that are no longer ancestors go back to a normal font weight. So this really helps me to understand the context of where an element happens to live. If I were to right click on an element and say collapse to ancestor path, it's going to collapse all of the nodes in the tree that are not part of the ancestor path of the element on which I right clicked. And last but not least, I can copy the ancestor path to the clipboard, and I'll fire up Notepad here. I'm going to paste that ancestor path to the clipboard, and then I could use this information later for whatever debugging purposes I happen to have. And last but not least, let's see how we can reset the element tree so that it's no longer focusing on just that list box. See that now we're back to having the entire user interface. And we can also flip over to the logical tree. Now this is only for WPF developers. If you're debugging a WPF application, Mole will show you the logical tree, and no matter what element is selected, when you click logical tree, it's going to then find the logical tree in which that element exists and allow you to look at that as opposed to the visual tree. And if you're not a WPF developer or you just don't know what the logical tree is, don't worry about it. This is kind of a esoteric feature. Okay, that's all I have to say about the element tree in Mole. I hope you're excited about it, and we look forward to showing you more about Mole in future videos. Have a great day.